With the release of Pocket Camp Complete, I'm sure there's a lot of new players joining in the game. Today, I want to take a look at some tips regarding the flower event. So basically, there is 3 main monthly events. There is the garden event, or the flower event as I like to call it. There is the fishing tourney, and there is the scavenger hunt. Today, we are focusing on the flower event or the garden event and how to make the most of this event. So personally, this is the event that I struggle with the most because I feel like the best way to collect a lot of bugs is just logging in to the game as much as possible every day. So basically in this event, you are supposed to catch a lot of bugs. You grow some flowers, the bugs spawn, and you go ahead and catch them. So as I already mentioned, I think the best way to get as many bugs as possible is just by logging into the game every 3 hours. The flowers take 3 hours to grow, so every 3 hours, if you come harvest your bugs and harvest your flowers and plant them again, you go in this 3-hour cycles, right? Aside from this repetitive 3-hour cycle, you can also do 2 other things to kind of maximize on your bugs. One option is after catching all the bugs, not to actually harvest your flowers, but to leave them here. In the new version of Pocket Camp Complete, after some time, the game is gonna spawn in more bugs on these flowers. I did this actually last night to test it out. I left for about an hour-ish and I came back and there was like maybe 5 or 6 bugs that had spawned in about an hour. I'm not sure yet how random that is or if it's always like 5 bugs per hour or something, but technically you don't have to keep regrowing or replanting the flowers. You could do this. In the previous version of Pocket Camp, this was actually a pretty handy tip because if you had a lot of friends and they could share their bugs with you, you could actually spawn in new bugs fairly quickly. However, I feel like in the new Pocket Camp Complete, this is really not the best way to do this. I think you are better off by planting the flowers every 3 hours and checking back in, because that way you spawn most bugs into your garden. Not only is this beneficial for the bugs, but this also unlocks the goals that you definitely do want to focus on. So as you can see here, the garden goal events, they're, by the way, always the same. They include planting a lot of seeds, harvesting a lot of flowers, and the rewards are flower food. There are some bells, of course, and other stuff, but the main focus here is to get all the flower foods and to complete all these goals. So that's what you want to do. You want to focus on completing those goals first and getting all that extra flower food that you can get. I think maybe towards the end of the game, if you don't want to keep regrowing the flowers, you can use this first method of not actually replanting the flowers and just checking back in every hour, every 2 hours to check in if new bugs have appeared. So moving on to kind of the second other alternative method that you can use, and that includes that previously mentioned flower food. So what you can actually do, you can plant your flowers and then you can use the flower food to accelerate the growth of this. So you can do this and you can get all your flowers grown instantly. And obviously this means that you will also get the bugs instantly and you can go ahead and capture them. However, I would say this second method is good only if in that month's garden event, you have a lot of items that you really like and you really want a lot of them. Otherwise, I would just keep saving the flower food for those events when you really like the items. So I wouldn't really use this on a regular basis. For example, I think this month's items are pretty cute, but they are not like something that I'm gonna be really bummed out if I don't get these. So I would just keep holding on to that flower food when an event that you really like the items of comes around. So then you can do this method more often and save up that flower food, if that makes any sense. Other than that, honestly, I know it sounds a bit annoying, but the best way to maximize on this flower event is just to log into the game as much as possible and keep repeating this 3-hour cycle as much as you can. And trust me, I know I struggle with this a lot because I'm not always available every 3 hours to be on my phone and stuff. Like when I'm at work, I cannot really play this event. So sometimes I do miss out on some items, but I feel like especially with Pocket Camp Complete is not that bad because you can use complete tickets to obtain items later on. Yeah, don't forget that you can also obviously buy some seeds from Lloyd, and you can exchange some of the flowers to some extra items here as I was, I think, scrolling past this menu earlier. Oh yeah, one thing that I actually totally forgot to mention, especially if you're not a huge fan of the reward items of any specific event, don't forget to go and redeem some flower food in the rewards here anyways, especially if you're not a fan of the items, because you can actually redeem quite a bunch of flower food in these rewards here with Lloyd. So don't forget to do that. So then when an event where you love the items of comes around, you have a bunch of flower food saved up. Also, as an additional tip, don't forget to chat with your friends in Whistle Pass, because sometimes you have a chance of your friends randomly also gifting you some bugs. So it's probably not going to be a big game changer, but definitely nice to know that actually your friends can also like help you out here if you're lucky enough, which I am not today. But yeah, don't forget to chat with your friends in Whistle Pass because you might get lucky and you might get some extra bugs this way. Okay, let's see, maybe we're lucky. We got the ornaments and yeah, there we go. So yeah, sometimes your friends might randomly gift you some bucks as well. But yeah, other than that, I think that is all my tips for this flower event. I know this one is especially a little bit grindy. I feel like especially with the new update or with the release of Pocket Camp Complete, this event got a bit harder because before we were able to kind of like share the bugs with other players, which was quite handy. But yeah, this is basically how you play the flower event. I hope this helps you out if you are new to Pocket Camp Complete, and also if you are a veteran player and you have some other good tips on how to maximize those bug catches. Please share your best tips in the comments down below. Also, don't forget that your camp helper actually helps you out, so you can also get some bugs and occasionally maybe some seeds from your camp helper as well. So as you can see here, Melba has completed some requests for us. I think I saw some flower seeds there, and she has also captured some bugs. So don't forget to utilize your camp helper as well. But I think this is kind of almost impossible to miss out on. But just to mention here that you can actually get some seeds and bugs that way as well. I hope you've enjoyed this little tips video. I hope it is useful to you. Let me know if I forgot about something, because sometimes I do. So check out the comments as well. Any corrections, any additions, I always pin them in the comments down below. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you did find it useful, and happy gardening. Bye guys.